Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Spitball Media Podcast. We're spitting out the top entertainment stories this week. My name's John Draper. With me on this voyage through saliva is none other than the Prince of Philadelphia, West Philly, to be more accurate. His name is Shaheen. Shaheen, how are you?
I'm good, man. Riding the wave of the saliva here. It's
Yes,
nice
we're
and
going to
hot here. It's like 70 degrees.
Yeah, it is. It was about 67 here. And of course, you know him, you love him. The warm weather makes him sweat in places that even monkeys don't sweat. His name is Mr. Bisho Bryan. Bisho Bryan, how are you?
I'm doing good, but I'm worried about getting carried away by a tornado because we got a watch right now. So I'm
You have a tornado
watching out
watch?
the window. Yeah.
Oh my God. Is that uncommon for your area?
No, in fact, the neighborhood I live in got hit by a really bad tornado about 15 years ago that like leveled everything.
Oh
So
my God, dude. That is
yeah,
insane. Well,
it's
listen, be
weird. As soon as
careful.
the wind picks up, all the neighbors start freaking out because they were here
Yeah.
and they remember this.
Yeah, and that's
So
probably yeah. Well, I mean, nobody wants to be in a fucking tornado.
mhm.
Hey, people, if you're joining us for the first time, we appreciate you checking us out. We run down media stories related to the entertainment world, talk about movies, and we also have a bonus show every week for our Patreon. That's right. If you go to patreon.com/spitball media for the low, just can't buy you nothing else in this world price of just $5, we're looking at like 1,300 hours of exclusive content, question and answer shows, bonus shows, theme shows. Shah, I mean, it's a potpourri of audible pleasure.
Yeah, it's a nice melting pot of all entertainment. It's like the
Wow.
America of entertainment. We're like the America of podcasts when it comes to movies.
Wow, it really is. I didn't think of it like that. And Bisho, that value for that $5 is really, really below market.
Tell you what, my kid was sick this week, and I ran up to the gas station to get a couple Gatorades. It
Mm.
was like $2.35 a Gatorade for just the little 12-ounce ones.
Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous. I know it's a gas station, but like it for the price of two Gatorades for my sick kid, I could
Mm.
have subscribed to the podcast. I mean, it doesn't tell the story any better than that. Every week we have another example, but thousands of hours of content, bonus shows, stuff that was unreleased to the public that you can only get by being a member. I've been tracking the WWE lawsuit shit going on. I just put another
I was just
episode
going
up
to get
last
to
night.
that. And listen, starting this year, Bisho Bryan has been doing an exclusive for Patreon job of a deep dive into the Vince McMahon lawsuit. And I got to tell you, he might be on this mission for a very long time.
I feel like Danny Casolero. I'm going to wind up dead or under mysterious circumstances.
I know. Bisho Bryan's found dead, Shah. We know who the culprit is. It's Vinnie Mac. But Shah, also the Q&A, your favorite show of the month at the end of the month, where they get to ask us any question they want on any topic, and we answer it for the podcast.
Yeah, I really like the last one in particular. It was a nice, well-rounded one. We had all sorts of questions, serious questions, some goofy ones. So yeah, go check it out, man. The Q&As are definitely worth it because they're kind of timeless because you guys can ask anything. It doesn't have to be relevant to what's going on right now. So you can always catch up on those.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to go to patreon.com/break the app. Special thanks to the people who've been keeping the lights on in this place for a very, very long time. And of course, the people hanging out live in the live feed. We got Joe Punches. We got Chris Matthews. We got Rich Dow. Thank you, Rich. Rich says he likes the Patreon so much he subscribed twice. Twice. That's a fan right there. And of course, I just did his show a couple weeks ago. We had a lovely low-key conversation over there. You should put the link in the chat there, Rich. And of course, my friend Terrell is there. Listen, people, we got a lot we want to get to, okay? But special shout out to my good friend Terry. He's got a birthday tomorrow and he just got engaged. And I also want to stress that if you are looking for more wrestling content from us, because I know we get that sometimes, we really don't talk about it here. There is some wrestling content in the way of the Patreon at patreon.com/Spitball Media. But Bisho is doing like old school reporting, like a 70s TV show version of following the Vince McMahon thing. Another episode just came out tonight for the Patreon people. And of course, the question and answer link is open for all of you that are in the Patreon. Get your questions in there. We love hearing from you. And we love doing that show at the end of the month. Now, we have an action-packed show for you tonight. There were some big media stories, but of course, the biggest media story was Sunday night's Oscars. Now, interesting, which I was shocked to learn this. I did send this to you guys. Did you guys know that the ratings for the Oscars, which is usually a bone of contention, was actually up for the first time in 4 years. Now, a lot of people were saying they think it was up because of the diversity of of films and stuff like that. There was a lot of different movies, and there was also a lot of popular movies. I mean, Shah, why do you think they would get a bump? Do you think it's because of the popularity of the Barbenheimer and the Oppenheimer stuff? Do you think that might be a reason why more people wanted to see if these movies were going to succeed at the box office, succeed at the Oscars the way they did at the box office?
Yeah, it's actually exactly what I was gonna say was Oppenheimer and Barbie. I think that was like an event, and that raised a lot of hype. And I think that kind of transitioned over to the Oscars. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I expect it to go down more and more every year with all the different platforms you can stream things on and YouTube, and it's not like old cable where it was just one place to watch it and they could just measure it that way. So it's I don't know, man. I feel like content is just scattered around everywhere, and it's harder to keep up with how many people are actually watching something. So I just expect it to go down more and more every year. But that's a nice surprise. I'm glad to always hear people supporting anything that's film related. So
yeah, and of course, Bisho. I'm sorry, Shah. And Bisho, what was that number that they ended up having for the viewership there?
It says 19.5 million people, and it
Jeez.
peaked in the final hour, which is when Ryan Gosling performed "I'm Just Ken." So that had to be
and the big
something to do with
awards
it.
and the big awards in the final hour.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy winning Best Actor, Christopher Nolan for Director. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bisho, 19.5. Now, why do you think more people watched than they did going back? Like, this is obviously, we're also talking about COVID years. COVID was actually 4 years ago at this time, and they had no audience at the Oscars, I believe, 4 years ago. But what do you think would be a reason? Do you think it's the Barbenheimers?
probably. I mean, it's been a really high profile couple, 16 months or so for films with Barbie and this, and even to the tune of like Super Mario being really successful. It seems like there's been a lot of different types of movies that have come out. So I think the diversity probably helps. But again, Barbie, Oppenheimer, you have Ryan Gosling, I almost said Jake Gyllenhaal. Ryan Gosling performing the "I'm Just a Ken" song. I just think it's a perfect storm of, hey, these things are really popular and we're incorporating them into the show. So gotta be it.
Yeah, I mean, now, of course, Chuck, he joined in here, and Slave Cheeks joined in here. Chuck said maybe starting an hour earlier helped. Yeah, Shah, for the first time ever, it started at 7 p.m. on the East Coast, which is 4 in the afternoon in California. I think that may have helped. Do you think that might have been a factor, too, because people could tune in early?
Possibly. I tuned in for the beginning. I watched the whole monologue with Jimmy Kimmel.
What did you think of it? I thought it was weak.
I didn't know what was happening at 7 or 7:30. So I was actually surprised myself. I caught it on YouTube, and then the stream went down. So I watched as much of it as I could.
Okay. Bisho, did you know it was starting early?
I didn't even watch it. No, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't watch? I watched the whole thing, actually.
Did you? How is Kimmel as a host? Because I expect him to be very bland.
The huge, nothing really that great. The huge. You know what I mean? Like, it was just nothing really, nothing memorable as far as I know. Some people weren't happy with some of the shit he said. Some people weren't. Now, look, we got to go right to the big thing that we cared about on the show, obviously, because we spent a lot of time talking about this film, and a lot of people in the chat have seen the film. Obviously, our hopes and dreams were fulfilled when Godzilla -1 shocked the fucking world and won Best Special Effects. The place went wild. Shah, did you get to see them win?
Yeah, I saw them win. I saw they posted a lot of the clips on ABC's YouTube channel, so I pretty much watched everything in clips. But yeah, I'm happy for them, man. I mean, I always root for the underdogs, even though I haven't watched the movie, but still, it's a dope moment to have, in the Oscars. And that wasn't the only shock of the night, man. This was a unique one. There was a lot of surprises.
So. Yeah, I agree with you. I think so. But clearly this was like the thing that we talked the most about. Me and Bisho have been pretty big cheerleaders for the film. Bisho, now you didn't get to see it live, but you did hear about it. Now, I will say this, Bisho. I'm watching with my wife, and when they won, I jumped up off the couch. And
did you? Oh, that's awesome.
I did.
Awesome.
I was like, oh my God, they fucking won. Like, it was like that. She was like, what's going on? I was like, Godzilla just won a fucking Oscar. Are you serious? Oh my fucking God. That was my reaction. And I know I'm not the only person. Like, I know there was some people at B-Show that did videotape their reactions to Godzilla winning, and putting them on like YouTube and stuff. But B-Show, your thoughts, obviously, you and I feel very passionately about this film. it really like it did something for us. It did. I mean, it just really did, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm smiling. That's my only reaction just thinking about it because, like, on a number of levels, like it was a really good film. It happened to have Godzilla in it, which is always a plus. And then to hear the story of the team and the lower, not low, but lower budget comparatively to all these other big budget movies that are coming out. And then it starts getting this buzz and this respect, and little by little, it starts chugging along, and then it starts making money, and then it's nominated, and then like the reactions of the whole crew have been so fucking humble. You know what I mean? And it's not. I think that's the biggest thing for me is like it's not like a bunch of dickhead, like stuck up, oh yeah, like these I don't know, smug people trying to win
Oh
an
yeah.
award and
Yeah.
too much up their own ass. These guys seemed like super humble and just like very excited. And then even his speech afterward, where he's
Oh,
reading just yeah, and then everyone politely clapping and encouraging him.
people
It
loved it.
was such a fucking feel good, and we need more of those moments, man.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Shah, the thing I think that's really important is that it was up against 100 $200 million movies. Two of the movies it was up against were Mission Impossible, which was over 200 million budget, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which clearly was over 200, and that's just two of the movies. But when you look at it comparatively, I mean, this is the equivalent of like a low budget independent film beating a movie with 5 Academy Award winners, directed by an Academy Award winner, and distributed everywhere in the globe. You know what I mean? Like, it's a true underdog story.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about it. If it's if it costs 10 million and it's going against $200 million budget films, I mean, that's like 5% of their budget. So that says a lot, man. When a movie that's 5% of the budget of the other ones beats them, I mean, and it's Godzilla.
Yeah, we can't not shake that it's Godzilla, which is traditionally made in a rubber suit.
And I mean, I saw I think the new like trailer. It's not a full trailer; it's a teaser, I guess. The Kong and Godzilla one that's coming out in March.
Yeah.
Like this looked much better than that, dude.
That's 200 million, by the way.
Yeah, that did not look great. I watched. I was like, yeah, it's not my thing, man.
It's 200 million. I mean, B-Show, this literally is like a team with the lowest budget in the major leagues. Not only getting to the playoffs, but winning the playoff, but winning the World Series.
Yeah, it had a very baseball feel to it for sure, and I think it's coming at a good time when people are questioning what's going on with Disney and these big studios where they're spending all this fucking money and doing these weird things, and they're striking and trying to fight for rights, and they're trying to circumvent that, and it's all in the name of profits. And here comes this little $10 to $15 million movie and just blows them right out of the water. So I think it's showing and shoving in their face, like, look, this can be done. Like, it doesn't have to be $200 million. It doesn't have to be all these stars. It doesn't have to be all this crazy shit. We just had a Godzilla movie. We made it for 10 million. It looks great, and it won best picture, or best visual effects.
Yeah,
like,
and we should,
guys,
we should also point out, it's won major awards in its country, in Japan. I think it won their version of the Oscars. It was nominated for like a couple dozen, and it won almost all of them. So, but clearly this is the bar. The bar is here. What a moment. I'll never forget it. I really will never forget it. And anyone who's seen the film will know why. And I think, Shah, someone like yourself who is definitely going to see this film sooner than later, like, I think this actually is going to intrigue a lot of people who maybe slept on this or didn't even know it existed. Don't you think?
Well, I think a lot of people know about it now. There's a lot of hype around it. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out when it comes out on 4K and physical media. But them winning the Oscars like reminded me of when ECW like made it onto Raw like back in like '95.
I was there. I was actually at that.
Really?
Yeah,
no,
I was.
You were? No
I was
kidding.
There.
Wow.
Yeah, when Sabu jumped off the Raw.
Yeah, the Raw time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting right there with Kevin and a whole bunch of people. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, it's like a proud moment for ECW.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was an ECW
like,
fan. I didn't even know that was going on. I found out at the last minute we were going.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it was wild, and people really, it was weird. Like, you saw them afterwards, like, and they just seemed so happy. B-show. I don't know that there was happier people in the room that night than those 4 people.
And that's what I was saying about them being like almost humble, where like it was a very wholesome type of like a fucking team effort. We did it, and just here it is, as opposed to, oh my god, I want to thank everyone for blah blah blah, and let's
Yeah.
talk about people in Darfur. It's like, fine, but it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
the guy
What
from
a night.
Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. It's not him going up talking about like
Animal
economics and
rights or whatever.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just,
Now, let me ask
hey,
you guys
we
a
did it.
question. I do want to talk about Poor Things, of course. What a great night for Poor Things. But I also want to mention, I think one of my favorite moments of the night, which a lot of other people are probably going to chime in here in the chat, was the Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Keaton interaction, which was fucking awesome. Did you see that, Shah?
I did, yeah. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite moments. I mean, Danny DeVito is
That's the
like
guy.
one of my favorite people, not just actors. He's like one of my
Great.
favorite people on earth, man. I fucking love Danny DeVito,
Oh, he's the greatest.
and I love the Twins movies. Like
Yeah.
that's got a soft spot in my heart. So, yeah, man, that was a cool moment. It's something I wasn't expecting either. You know what I mean? It's so random.
Yeah,
So,
and now we should point out, Shah, that Michael Keaton changed his clothes to dress like Bruce Wayne in the Batman cartoons. There's a scene where Bruce Wayne is dressed like that. He was wearing a traditional tuxedo, but he put on the Bruce Wayne clothes for the scene. Did you catch that, B-show, when he switched his clothes?
No, but I saw someone put up that it was a nod to Adam West, and they showed Adam
Yeah.
West in the picture. I didn't know.
Yeah, Shah, it was supposed to be the Adam West Batman. There's a picture of it, them side by. He's wearing the exact same clothes. Like it's an ascot. I don't know if we could find. I mean, you'd have to see. You have to do it side by side there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And it was like so out of nowhere too. It was a very random ass thing. Oh, I wonder why we can't find it. I know there's a meme of it somewhere. Oh, there he is in the ascot. Look, if you look at him up there, if you scroll back up, Shah. Excuse me, B.
Oh, here. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Shah, that's the same outfit. Like he's doing the Adam West Batman.
that's a pretty cool nod. I'm not familiar with the old school one, but that's pretty dope.
Yeah, 66.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, look at that shot. That's the outfit. So cool. That's so. Look at him. He looks. By the way, all this did, I think, was get people more upset that Michael Keaton's not going to do another Batman. Don't you think, B-show?
Oh yeah. I don't know why it's not on the table. I mean, he was obviously the most exciting part about that Flash movie, because
he was.
When that trailer came out, that's all anyone was talking about. I don't understand why they're not pulling the trigger on this thing, because it seems like a moneymaker for sure.
Well, you know what, guys? Not for nothing. Stranger things have happened because this got so much attention. It was such a highlight of the night that weirder things have happened, Shah, right? I mean, let's be honest. It wouldn't be the craziest idea if they did something like this.
I mean, I honestly expect them to change their minds on it eventually, because like if he already did a role in Flash, that means that he's still feeling comfortable enough to do that role.
Yeah.
Why not do it? I don't understand why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I loved it. I watched it so many times. Chris Matthews is saying that was amazing. Joe Punch saying Keaton said when they asked him at the Oscars, he said never say never. So look, maybe it'll happen. Probably the highlight other than Godzilla for me. But Shah, what a big night for Poor Things. My God. Just first and foremost, it won a lot of technical awards, which was a nice little surprise there. But, everyone going into the Oscars had said that Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, including myself, was going to win Best Actress over I always forget her name. Isn't that Emma Stone? She's so phenomenal. Over Emma Stone, who people, found gave the performance of a lifetime. It was a real once in a lifetime sort of a role. And the shock of the night for me really was Lily Gladstone losing and Emma Stone winning. Shah, did you happen to see all the awards that Poor Things? Bisho, if we can maybe pull up the awards that Poor Things won.
Well,
Yes,
Shah,
I mean,
four, right?
Was it 4?
Yeah, I think so.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 here. I don't know if that's
6? Yeah, that sounds about right, guys. It kept winning awards all night.
Wow.
That's crazy.
No, maybe. Let's see. How many Oscars did Poor Things win?
Yeah,
but Shah, it won quite a few awards.
Yeah, which, dude, I was so happy about that because it put a lot of eyes on this movie. Like, I saw it all over Facebook, and people weren't talking about this. I mean, we didn't even know if this was coming to the theater. Remember, we thought it was a short story, like it was a short film.
Yeah.
We didn't really
Thought it
know
was
much
40
about
minutes.
it, you know, and then it comes out and it's gotten this buzz now. It just got released on physical media this week. It's on Hulu.
It's on streaming.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. You can check it out on Hulu now.
Yeah, none of us have seen it too. And like Joe Punches is like, yeah. So it won 3 in a row at one point, guys. It won 3 technical awards in a row. I think for costumes. Can we just see? Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend, though.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend. B-Show, what did it win there?
Yeah, Poor Things caps off night, according to Deadline.com, with wins for Emma Stone, production design, makeup and hairstyling, and costume design. So it does look like 4.
Yeah, and by the way, it was up against some pretty significant competition for all of those technical awards, but it won 3 in a row, Shot, like one after another after another. And at that point, I looked at my wife and I said, you know, Poor Things might win some other big awards here. I did not think it would be Emma Stone. And of course, none of us have seen it, but we all know, I mean, you and I are ultra familiar with the director, you know, and I think Emma Stone is fantastic in everything. I loved her recently in that TV show. You guys didn't watch it, the Benny Safdie show, which was very creepy and strange. But Shah, I mean, this is huge for Yorgos Lanthimos. Just tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, it defeated fucking Barbie. I'm pretty sure Barbie was up there for production design and costume design.
Makeup, costume. Yeah, Barbie.
Yeah. And look, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch the whole Barbie movie, but my daughter was hanging out with me the other night, and I turned on Barbie, and I watched the first 5 minutes. It's impressive to see the visuals.
It is absolutely
that little world
you
that
said
they pull
that too,
you
Shah,
into.
You didn't hate it, right?
Yeah, it's a good looking movie. I just didn't like all the man bashing in there. Otherwise, I would have liked it. You know.
But I'm just saying
the
to
jokes
go up
weren't
against
landing with me personally. Like the half hour I watched, the jokes just weren't landing with me.
Yeah, no, and I didn't watch it very long either. But I'm just saying the world they pull you into, the set design, the palettes, everything for this to beat that out as far as production design is concerned, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. But Shah, I mean, what do you say to Yorgos Lanthimos? I mean, this is like now he's on a whole other level once again. I mean, this is I mean, my God. I mean, the movie got 4 fucking Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super happy for him, but at the same time, like, I hope he doesn't end up at fucking Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things.
Shade.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, there's other people that might be possibly doing that we never thought would be.
I know. Well, by the way, you're absolutely right. I should shut up. You're absolutely right.
I mean, we don't know, and I don't want guys like him and Ari Aster and all these other guys working for DC and Marvel. Like, what the fuck?
DC, Shah, you know, not for nothing. Yorgos Lanthimos doing a Swamp Thing movie, like a fucked up Swamp Thing movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want them to do that though.
Or a
Dude, this guy is sick in the head. You want him to do a Swamp? They're not gonna let him
Swamp
do that.
Thing's deep though, like the Bernie Wrightson shit, the OG Swamp Thing stuff, the black and white shit. Like it's a deeper book. It's not like, you know, it's a lot of heaviness there. Now I will say this, you know, it's interesting. It seems like a lot of people initially wrote Emma Stone off for this movie because of the nudity. And then when she won, they tried to dismiss it as almost pedophilic in some way because she has a child's brain and she's like a Frankenhooker character. It was a lot of grandstanding for Lily Gladstone, who seemed completely content to not win an Oscar because Bisho, she does not have the career that Emma Stone. Emma Stone, that's her second Oscar, and she's 30 years old.
Yeah, that was fascinating to me. Is like there was a lot of talk about what's that movie called? That she was in, Gladstone.
Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah,
Killers of the Flower Moon. There's a lot of people talking about that movie, but I don't remember a lot of people after it came out talking about how great it was or going to see it or anything.
Yeah,
but everyone was really, not everyone. Some people were really upset that she didn't win Best Actress.
They were. So, but you know, you know, it's funny, guys. Think about it. The first time I saw Emma Stone was probably the same time you both saw her, was in Superbad. I mean, like I was like 19. Now, I mean, Shah, if you would have thought, I mean, we've all seen Superbad a bunch in this room, and probably in the chat, I'm sure. And shout out to people jumping in there like Jimmy Pennycook hanging out. But Shah, if you would have told me it's Superbad, that the girl Jules, who's like the female love interest of Jonah Hill, is going to have 2 Oscars by 31, 32 years old. I mean, I would have took that bet in a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely blows my mind, dude. I mean, that was a first movie. I don't. Was that her first movie, or was that just okay?
It might have been her first like movie.
Yeah,
it might have been. Yeah,
because it definitely, you know, that was the first time I'd seen her. But yo, real quick, just to touch on this, his themes in his movies, I that's why I called him sick, because a lot of them is kind of like, either like, I don't want to say the word because YouTube is very sensitive, but the P word and like incest and stuff. Like he focuses on a lot of weird themes in his films.
He does. He does.
So I don't know how he would work in a DC setting or anything like that. He's a weird one, man.
Yeah. Well, Shah, he didn't compromise his art to get these awards at the end of the day, right? I mean,
no, he didn't. And again, that's why some people are pissed at this movie because, the theme is kind of weird. Because she does have a child's brain and then she ends up like loving.
I mean, it is Frankenhooker.
That is
guys.
weird.
It is Frankenhooker at the end of the day. I mean, it is.
It is.
Just,
but that makes me want to watch it more.
Yeah.
Not the kid's brain thing. That's a little strange.
I like her a lot. I've always liked her. I liked her in Birdman. I liked her in La La Land. I liked her in, I haven't seen a lot of these PG typing movies that she's done, but I've seen her in a lot of films. And I do believe Superbad might be her first big movie. Easy A, I think, was after Superbad. Somebody pointed that out there. I've even seen her in The Rocker. That movie kind of sucked. The Interview, she's got a small part in that. She's the Paper Man might be an early movie for her. She's a kid in that movie. But Bisha, I mean, there's no. And look at Zombieland. I mean, she's got a lot of fluff in there, Bisha, for a 2-time Academy Award winner who's like 31 years old.
Yeah, and when I watched Superbad, I remember watching that for the first time. I really whiffed it on our I whiffed it on our Patreon a couple weeks ago when people asked us what our favorite coming of age movie was. I'd have to say probably Superbad now in hindsight.
Yeah, maybe.
But like I thought she was fine. I thought she was really good, but I didn't see her as this future leading lady of Hollywood to win all these Oscars and everything. So it's really interesting to see how it turned out.
Shah, are you surprised that Yorgos Lanthimos is, because with his content, is so regarded now in the mainstream Hollywood scene?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, of course.
The guy that made Dogtooth, and I mean, you look at what was that other movie?
The Lobster.
Yeah, the
Killing
Lobster.
of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah, I mean, the Lobster's
pretty fucked up, though. Lobster's crazy, dude. It's fucking.
Yeah, but it's not as nearly as sadistic as fucking Dogtooth and
Dogtooth is a long time ago, but the Killing of a Sacred Deer is so uncomfortable. I mean, it's one of the most uncomfortable. I've never seen The Favorite, and I heard it's great.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I heard that's great. I love Olivia Colman. Emma Stone was great in that. She's like his go-to girl now because of that.
I'm excited for. I didn't know she was going to be in that A24 movie. The TV Glow movie. I saw the TV Glow.
Oh yeah.
Emma Stone is.
That's go back one page. That's what it said.
Maybe she's in that too.
No, just click back. You were on the Emma Stone movies. It was listed on there as one of the movies.
I didn't see her in the trailer there.
I didn't either. But when he had the Emma Stone movies, the poster for that movie.
I saw the TV Glow. That movie looks bananas.
She was a producer on that show.
Oh, she's producing A24 movies. Good for her. Look, she's going to be around a long time, and it's well deserved. But one thing I want to talk about before we leave this is something that I thought was silly. I don't see what the big deal is, but a lot of people thought it was an Illuminati ritual. We're talking about John Cena coming out in the middle of the show, streaking. A lot of people thought it was inappropriate, whatever. I thought it was okay. It was just dumb. I was happy that, he got the nod there, which is interesting because The Rock and Bad Bunny came out right after. So it was very odd, that wrestling connection. But there were people that were saying this was an Illuminati humiliation ritual, Shah. And that's why he had to do it, because he's getting more famous. And like what our good friend there would say on the Joe Rogan show, I was going to say Eddie Griffin. Isn't that hilarious? What Cat Stevens?
Hey, man.
Cat Stevens. I'm still fucking it up. Cat Williams. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Naked Cena. It's a little weird.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Williams.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Rogan. But it's just weird seeing Naked Cena all over my screen. But that Cat Williams said that there's Illuminati humiliation rituals and homosexual rituals. Now, look, I just thought this was funny. And if you're going to get somebody nude, you're going to get a jacked up. I mean, this is the least jacked up Cena's been in 20 years. Shah, was this an Illuminati humiliation ritual, or was this just a bit?
I think it's a far reach, dude. I think it's ridiculous that people come up with these theories. Like, I mean, first off, this whole building is covered in stars. Wouldn't the rest of theirs, or at least some of them, be public humiliations? Like, why is he the chosen one to go out on stage butt ass naked.
That's it, because he's becoming a mainstream Hollywood person.
Yeah, but everybody did. Emma Stone had to, right? So where was her ceremony?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
think
Like,
it's more for
why
guys.
is he the one?
I think it's a gay guy thing. That's what I think.
There's a million guys that are in Hollywood that are, quote unquote, in the Illuminati or allegedly. But I thought it's silly, man. I think this is just John Cena. He has weird sense of humor. He'd be the type of guy that wouldn't have a problem doing this type of shit. He's wrestled half naked his whole life. So I mean,
I mean, look at the shape of him. Look at the size of this motherfucker still.
He looks awkward as fuck, though. He's like too jacked to be naked. He looks weird, man.
Yeah.
He just looks uncomfortable.
B-show humiliation ritual for the Illuminati, or just a bad bit?
Oh, just a bad bit. I have to give credit to your brother. I listened to him and Mish talk about this on Soup earlier when I was working. He said, I think it's just the wrestler sucking up to Hollywood, trying to get a job. And that makes perfect sense, because there's probably a lot of people in wrestling who do a lot of things to make money and to get over and whatever the case. I think the Illuminati stuff, do I think there's people that humiliate people and put them in their place and get dirt on them? Probably. But not everything is such a top-down control. Like, I've never understood that argument for conspiracies. Like, everything is so controlled. Everything is so top-down. No. Like, look, Cat Williams, I love him.
Yeah,
great comedian, not the most stable individual in the world.
Yeah, not the most honest person. I don't know that we're sitting
and that's
here.
the point, is every time something bad happens that maybe his problem or drugs or whatever, he comes out and he says, I gotta tell you, it was the Illuminati coming out and telling me, and I'm gonna tell you, you don't know what I've seen. It's like, I don't, but I also know that you got beat up by an 8th grader and were arrested for drugs. So,
well, here's some what people in the chat are saying. So Slave Cheeks is saying it's just silliness. I didn't take it seriously. Marquise saying it's an old Carson bit. It aged poorly. Jamie Pennychuck said that Cena was in pro wrestling. That's embarrassing enough. Great line there, Jamie. Joe Punches, if you've seen John Cena movies, this isn't worse than what he did in Cockblockers. I did see Cockblockers. Not that funny. It was okay. By the way, he does a lot of crazy shit on his HBO show. The Peacemaker. He does a lot of crazy. He says insane crazy shit. And this Ricky Stenicki movie, he says a lot of crazy shit too. Slave Cheeks, producer Cena, you have the best body in Hollywood. Do the nude bit. I mean, look, and of course, like Joe Punch saying, he has no problem getting nude. He's done it in Trainwreck. He's done it in Peacemaker, and he did it, by the way, guys, on Total Divas. He did this with Nikki Bella on Total Divas, and he did make a living, Shah, in jorts. Which, by the way, he makes a joke when he's like, you wrestled naked. So he goes, I was wearing jorts. And then Jimmy Kimmel goes, that's worse than being naked. Good line, by the way.
I think again, man, I didn't see him becoming that big of a movie star. So it's kind of still surreal, like seeing him, because I just watched the interview with him and this guy on YouTube. His name is Funny Marco. He did a 30-minute like comedy interview with him.
Oh, wow.
And they played off each other pretty well. Like, Funny Marco is this dude that's like super awkward, and John Cena, he played into it. So like, as much as I hated him as a wrestler, I find him much more entertaining as an actor. But I like him better than The Rock, honestly, as an actor.
Yeah, I do too.
The Rock is,
I do too. I mean, Rock's got an abortion floor at closing movie lineage. I mean, Rock's movies are just horrifyingly bad. Of course, he is making an A24 movie right now. He's shooting it about Mark Kerr, old Pride fighting champion, who there was a documentary called The Smashing Machine, which if you guys have never seen The Smashing Machine, oh my God, is that a difficult document? It's maybe one of my easily top 10 favorite documentaries of all time. That's The Rock is doing that. The Rock is doing that. But I'll say this. I think John Cena has some self-awareness that it might be tough for other people to understand because of wrestling, right? He's also now he's in his like mid 40s, late 40s, right? Something like that. How old is he, B-Show? Like 46? He's got to be.
I thought he was
How old do you guys think of Rock?
Like
excuse me, I know Rock is my age. How old do you guys think Cena is? 45?
Yeah, I would say early to mid 40s, probably mid 40s.
Say 45, 46. Maybe
he's 46.
Wow, 46. Okay. 46 in any industry, guys. Not great. Wrestling sometimes is the exception, but really not, but I will say this. I think because he is the kind of guy who said yes to everything. You know, he was doing like 5,000 Make-A-Wishes. He was doing commercials for T-Mobiles or whatever the fuck he was doing, and Cricket Wirelesses and snack things. And, you know, he's did this very strange movie that's on Prime that I heard is highly inappropriate. Not great movie, but he's super inappropriate in it. He is wildly inappropriate in The Peacemaker. I mean, like crazy, but it works. I think there's something about him coming from wrestling, B-Show, not getting bent on things like this. You know what I mean? Because wrestling is pretty humiliating. Jamie.
Yeah, it's it's the ego thing. There's a lot of people coming in who are very conscious of their image. Like, look at Cat Williams. We just mentioned him. How many people have to be put into a dress? It's like,
well, if you can dress or suck the dick.
Exactly, but it's like they're putting us in dresses to dis. No, it's a bit. It's been done. It's not. Sure, there may be some racist connotation.
Well, hold on. I don't know that Cat Williams is 100% wrong about that dresses shit. I
was going to say the same thing. There's way more black dudes in dresses in Hollywood than
I don't think. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not justifying. I'm not saying he's right, B-Show, you're wrong. I'm saying I don't think that is that. If you're telling, like, if he's trying to just intimate that powerful people in Hollywood have a sexual fetish putting black men in drag, like, you know, I don't know that it's wrong. I'm just saying, there's a lot of history there.
I know. I'm not saying
Russell, the first time I think he got on TV as a black person was in a fucking dress in the 60s.
Chappelle did it too. He tried to claim Chappelle didn't do it.
Jamie
Chappelle
Foxx did it in the 80s.
Martin Lawrence, Big Mama.
The Wayans brothers did it.
Yep.
Martin Lawrence did it.
Medea.
Eddie Murphy did it.
Yeah.
Who are we forgetting? These are the top. Yeah. This is the upper echelon of black comedic entertainers. All of them. If I'm not mistaken, I think was it Nipsey Russell we used to do it on in the Ed Sullivan show. Can you just put Nipsey Russell dress? I could be confusing him with another entertainer. I'm not big on 60s entertainers. I'm sorry. Sorry, internet will tell you I was around then. I wasn't. I feel like he was. I feel like he would go on the late night talk shows because they were having trouble getting black entertainers on there in the 60s. But he had to go on there and drag. I want to just make sure. Chris Rock has done it. I mean,
find it anything.
Flip Wilson. It was Flip Wilson.
Flip Wilson. Okay.
Flip Wilson drag. Flip Wilson was a black comedian trying to get on television. Very successful for his time period. Pull it up, B-Show. He's in drag. I mean, like,
right
this
here,
is like, pull it up just for people to think me and Shah aren't like talking shit. This is one of the first black comedians to get on television. What do we see here, Shah?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a theme, dude. Like we just mentioned every single one. I mean, you look at Tyler Perry and Medea. I mean, you know, it's nonstop. It's definitely a theme.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
But at the same time, they have to agree to it. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like forced to do this.
Do you have any idea how, like, seeing this on TV in 1964, like in 1963 B-Show, like where there's so few black people on television and this is the most common?
And it's not that far removed from vaudeville either. So there's probably had that connotation where it was allowed to happen because, oh, look at this comical thing going on.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me about that is, as gross as that is, like there's other people who themselves have probably written it into sketches. So how much of it is the power play thing? How much of it is, hey, it's funny? Because like the Wayans brothers wrote their own show.
True. But it had to get on television.
Right. And in Living Color, what's his name? Damon Wayans did. I'm trying to remember what her name was.
Well, they had the gay characters. He had
the movie reviewers.
The movie reviewers, him and David Allen Greer. But well, not Shanae. Shanae's from Martin, right? Shah, who was Shanae? Shanae's from Martin?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So yeah, Damon Wayans, look, but Shah, there's a lot of evidence to this. Like, and I think again, we're not saying this is correct.
I'm not saying it is, but not everything bad that happened to Cat Williams was Illuminati shit.
This is how Jamie Foxx got on television. He's got Academy Awards now.
Oh yeah, it is in Living. I actually have that on DVD still.
What was the name of the character? Wanda. Yeah, with the perched lips and all that shit. Like, I mean, come on, this would not happen today, Shah. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not like I said, I'm not denying it happened, but it's So how far do we take it? Is it Illuminati? Is it there's a lot of powerful people who have a fetish for this type of thing, and they'll give you a
Maybe a
job?
little bit. I'm going to go a little
Yeah.
bit column A, column B, column C, column D. I don't. You show me Dan Aykroyd. I mean, I'm sure Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray have done some embarrassing things, but I don't see like tons of photos of Dan Aykroyd, Sam Kinison, Bill Murray consistently having to wear dresses to get on TV. Do you?
Dude,
I mean,
it's funny you guys say this wouldn't happen today, but like this is happening today in real life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's not that uncommon, man. I was, I got back on Tinder, and
uh-oh.
there is so many dudes that identify
Wow.
as women that now you have to scroll past, and I'm like, dude, there should be a different section for this. Like, this is a full bearded man with a description in his profile saying, "Treat me like the woman I am." It's
Really?
like, dude, there should, yeah, oh yeah.
When
There
are you
should be a
guys hanging
different
out? Is it
section for
Friday, Saturday? You going to brunch? What
that.
are you
Yeah,
doing?
no, thank you.
I'm just kidding. But listen, I'm not listen. Cat Williams, I'll say 13%. I'm going to go with what Cat Williams says.
There you go. That's I think that's a good number.
13%. We got Mo Dirk hanging out in the chat. We have it's UGZ hello.
Husey.
Hanging out
It's
in the chat.
Husey
Yuzi. Oh, Yuzi.
from the
hello.
YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Yuzi's there. Okay, I'm sorry, Yuzi. I my glasses are filthy. But yeah, look, I don't think John Cena is getting in the Illuminati, but I think he'll just do anything to get on television. And look, maybe that's what it comes down to. Because if you tell me, at 19, 20, a struggling comedian at some point in life that, hey, if you just put this dress on and say these things, we'll put you in a TV show. I would be like, I'm a size 9. You know what I mean, B-Show? Like, I would be like, let's go with earth tones.
Whenever one of these stories comes out, and I don't want to trivialize, assault or anything like that, but whenever one of these stories comes out and people go, well, would you do this for that? It's like, if someone gave me $2 million tomorrow,
Of course I would.
like, where's my pen? Like, I'm looking for my pen right now. Let's just fucking get this over with.
Of course I would. Of course I would.
But that doesn't mean that other people wouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah,
So,
look, other people have integrity. I don't. By the way, Shah, did you love that Nicolas Cage line to Paul Giamatti about the eye, wearing the eye thing at the Oscars?
No, I must have missed that clip.
B-Show, did you see that?
I heard people talking about it, but I don't know what happened.
So Oscar winners presented like said nice things about the nominees, and they got Nicolas Cage to say it about Giamatti, and he said for The Leftovers, in order to portray a lazy eye, Paul Giamatti wore a soft contact in his left eye that left him legally, like, actually blind for the shooting of the film. And then Nicolas Cage said, "Now would I do that? Hell yes!" And then the place went crazy because he was trying to say like how rare that was, but he would do that. And it went viral, which is so Nicolas Cage, don't you think?
I don't get the context. Was he just saying that was great?
Well, he was trying to stress that what Paul Giamatti did for this role was so crazy that he left himself blind in one eye. And that, that's the kind of actor he is. But then Nicolas Cage said, "Would I do that? Hell yeah!" And everyone just starts laughing because a lot of actors wouldn't do something like that. But you have to see the clip. It falls flat without seeing it. Now, listen, people, we're going to do something here we've never done since we went to YouTube for very deliberate reasons. But because this Crow trailer is such a hot topic, we're going to play it live in the stream rather than play it in Patreon. So we don't know what's going to happen to the feed as a result of this, but we are now going to play it, and then we are going to discuss it with everyone in the chat. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. So, Bisho, can we cue up the trailer that dropped today for the new Crow movie?
I have got it right here.
Let's just try to pause it a few times so it doesn't play.
Good idea.
Throughout the whole thing.
Okay. And we are going to have to talk over it. Guys.
I wish I could adjust that window too, but this will have to do for now.
You can't make it bigger? Okay.
I was going to make it smaller.
Yeah, you don't want it bigger because then it'll
okay.
Detect it.
It just dropped today, the Crow first time trailer. We will be speaking over it the entire time to avoid it getting taken off the air.
What's the first thing you liked about me?
Wow. It's my first time seeing this, by the way.
I thought that you were quite brilliant.
Okay. Looks a little methy. The girl is very cute. I don't know who FKA Twigs is, but she's some English singer. Does anybody know who she is?
No, I've never seen her.
Well, you're going to see her ass, and it looks fantastic. Let's go to it right now.
You feel like my person?
Should I go back and pause it on that?
No, don't. So they're
What's
they're
the
both
worst thing
obviously
you
in
ever
ill
done?
shape. We don't know the circumstances here, but there's Danny Houston who plays the villain. I don't think we could keep pausing it. I think we should just talk over it. Do you think that's better, Shah?
Well, yeah, you kind of have to pause it every now and then,
Yeah.
otherwise
Okay,
it'll
let's
detect it faster and
We're
it'll
seeing
just say
some
you're
visuals
playing
here.
it.
I like the visuals so far.
Yeah.
I like it so far. Very Crow.
Do we
They
know what
kill his
this is
girlfriend
rated?
in front of him. It's rated R.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
it is
was
rated
wondering
R.
because
And you'll see why in about 30 seconds. All right,
Gotcha.
go ahead. Go ahead there, B. So it's Lionsgate. That is Ozzy Osbourne. That's a good sign, I think. So I don't know if they drowned them or if he's dreaming this, but I like the visuals so far.
I think it's him like going to the land of the dead, like
Okay.
sinking.
Sometimes something so bad happens.
I don't know who that actor is. I like the
Every
visuals
single
so far.
kill
Look at that. That looks great. Shah, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks very like artsy and shit. I like it so
Yeah.
far.
Dark, very dark
Definitely-
tone. B show,
Yeah, I
right?
definitely like the underworld setting. It looks
Okay.
pretty good. And it's not like
Yeah.
overly CGI to the point where
No.
you feel like it's a fucking Marvel
No,
movie.
this looks like it's going to be more practical effects when
Yeah.
you see the violence.
Yeah.
B show, right? I like the visuals.
I do too. I think there's a lot of symbolism. I think it looks cool just from the way it's set up.
Dude,
I
B
like.
show, do you recognize that Ozzy song?
No, I don't. In fact,
It's
I
Ozzy,
didn't.
right? Clear as day.
It is.
right?
Now I watched some of this earlier, and it gets kind of auto-tuney at the
It
end.
gets
so I thought it was
auto-tune
just,
mumble rap. I know. We
it
knew that was
is, which I
coming.
didn't
You knew
like,
it was
but
coming.
I just caught that this was Ozzy this time. I was trying to place the song,
You
and I
put the
can't place it.
wrong things right.
That guy looked like me. Let's not pretend like he didn't.
Watch this
You
though.
were given
Watch
the
this.
power of a god.
I like the visuals.
And you know what? He's in a lot better shape than I expected. I expected
Yeah,
him
he
to be
doesn't need to be in this
emaciated.
kind of shape, though. Let's be honest.
Save her.
Yeah.
This is some fuck you shape, you know.
I just think that the face tattoos and the prison tattoos.
Here we go.
are
Oh,
crazy.
so he just blew a guy's fucking head off. Like literally. Did you see that shot? He literally blew.
No,
a
no.
guy's
Can
head
you
off.
rewind it real quick?
Rewind that.
Yeah.
The guy who looks like me. Can we rewind that a little bit? Because the guy really does look like me.
Time to
Like
save her.
a little bit further, if you don't mind. Just a little bit further. Yeah, like there's a quick scene.
Oh,
There we
no.
go. Yeah, that's me if I got my face blown off, Shah. Okay, sorry. So right off the bat, I like the violence. And his look isn't as off-putting. The mullet seems to not be that prominent. But go ahead, B.
Every single one of them.
I like these shots. Danny Houston is a great villain. If you don't know this actor, he's the son of Don.
Yeah.
Brother of Angelica Houston. Famous
There was
band.
one scene that
Yeah,
I don't think we
indeed.
could hear it very well, but he cries
have
out
a
to her,
problem.
and it seems so
He came first.
like when they're putting the bag over his head,
Oh,
and it just sounds so legit and like real. It was really interesting.
I think he's going to throw two heads in an audience here, Shah. Look at this dude. He's shooting. Yeah, this is hard, dude.
Yeah,
It's
man,
like
that
zombie
looks
John
brutal.
Wick.
Anger.
Jesus.
Zombie John. Look at this.
It's love.
Now he's going to kill him. I think he throws two heads in the
What
audience.
you become. You know that love promises only pain.
That looks great.
Mhm.
This girl is
And that
good.
girl's real cute too.
Kind of reminds me of the Joker, like how dark
Look at
it
that,
is.
dude. Look at this
Yeah.
shot. He shoots the dude through himself. Look, he just threw two
Oh,
heads.
there it is.
He just threw two heads.
How many people have you loved?
That's a great shot.
Yep.
But then you throw the auto tune in there, and I think the graphic looks good. Okay. FKA Twigs. She, I believe, is a UK singer. Penny Cook could check us on that. Shah, I'm going right to you. What do you think?
Right off the bat, it's a lot better than I thought, honestly. I thought I was gonna hate it, and having a hard time finding any negatives about it. It looked pretty good. It looked violent. It looked like, you know, the cinematography was actually done well. It looks nice, and like I said, it's not overly CGI'd. It looks like it's a nice mixture and a balance of, you know, practical and CGI. And the fact that it's rated R, that makes me happy, because the original, you know, like it was necessary.
Yeah. So we're getting G checked on the song. It's Ozzy with Post Malone. So take that
That's
with a grain.
crazy.
Now, I'm curious if that's the theme of the soundtrack. In other words, B-Show, are we going to see metal people doing songs with mumble rappers or SoundCloud face tattoo rappers? You know what I mean?
No, I hope not. But
Well,
I agree
Judgment
with
Night, the famous Judgment Night soundtrack, which many people regard as one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. I don't. That was the theme of the Judgment Night soundtrack. But we, for people that remember that, a lot of people dig that. Show your thoughts. I think we are all going to be on the same page here.
Yeah, like honestly, I wanted to keep finding reasons to hate it based on just what little we saw originally, but I can't. I think it's going to have to be one of those movies where maybe I said this a couple weeks ago. I just have to realize that it's not for me necessarily, and that I don't get certain things because it's supposed to appeal to a younger generation, but it doesn't make it any less enjoyable for me. So what if he's got face tattoos? Fine. That is the counterculture right now, almost like Brandon Lee was back in the day. It looks like zombie John Wick and has, like Shah said, some elements of Joker in it and things like that. So visuals are great. Concept looks good. Action looks great. I could not see a bad thing about this other than maybe aesthetically on him. That's it.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. I think we're all surprised that it looks like this, surprised that we like the way it looks, and are not poo-pooing on it. I expected this to be, I'm not going to lie, I expected this to be horrify me today. When I clicked on it, I'm not even making, this is the God's honest truth. I was sitting 5 feet away from where I'm sitting right now when I saw it. I literally took my glasses off, cleaned them, took a deep breath, and just said, okay, this is it. Because I love this movie so much, and that movie is a big deal. I love the book. The book came out in 1989. I think I bought it in 93, 92. The movie came out in 94, 95. Show if you can check me on that. I think it's 94.
The book, I'm sorry?
The comic book came out in 1989.
Oh.
I know that for a fact. The James O'Barr original book. I could probably pull it off and show it on the screen here. But I was obsessed with this concept. I was obsessed with Brandon Lee. I have a gorgeous lithograph thing of the Crow that I paid hundreds of dollars for. That's probably worth, I could probably sell online for about $1,000. Like, when I'm not even joking with you, I still have it. We used to have it in the comic book store. I'm on board. I'd like to, this FKA Twigs is gorgeous. Water there, right there. Can we pull up FKA Twigs? I hate that I have to use a name like that to refer to an adult, but I'll do it.
I'm working on it. I like that shot, and I also like the one where she was laying with her like ankles across his neck. You know what I mean?
He's not ugly. I hope this isn't based in the UK. I'd like this to be based in like the original Crow shop was supposed to be Detroit, but they don't call it Detroit. They never say it's Detroit, but it's Detroit. You know what I mean? Who is FKA Twigs? Does anybody in the chat know who this girl is?
I have a feeling she's going to make.
Oh my God, this is a
Michael Smith's
girl.
Fuck, Marry, Kills pretty soon.
This is a good looking girl. Can we pull up her Wikipedia? Oh, dude, huh? What, are you crazy?
The face she's making is kind of strange. I like the other picture.
Yeah, look at the other picture of her. She's a singer of some kind, right?
There we go.
Wow. Oh my God. Shah, what are we thinking here on FKA Twigs? Jesus Christ.
She's definitely cute, but I mean, she's not my type, but you know.
Oh, she used to date Robert Pattinson. Can we just look her up? I think she's a singer. I just want to go to her Wikipedia.
Let's see.
I hate that name. I hate that I have to refer. What's her real name?
Talia Debrett Barnett.
Barnett? Okay. Is she
Talia
an English
Barnett.
girl?
Yeah.
How old is this kid?
She is 36. She's not a kid.
Wow. I thought she'd be way younger than that. So she's a singer?
Yeah.
Pattinson used to bang her. Okay.
Avant pop, electronic, art pop, R&B, and hip hop.
Okay. Thank you, Chris Matthews, 94. He's saying the Crow soundtrack was. Yeah, this girl is smoking. Holy fucking shit. I don't know, man. She looks pretty hot in that movie, Shah. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely pretty. She's just, you know, not for me.
Okay. So guys, we're going to go on the record here and say that we have an interest in The Crow 2024. Shah, will you see the film?
Possibly. I mean, I'm definitely going to see it eventually. I just don't know if it's going to be in the theater or not. But yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out.
Okay.
I'm way more impressed than I thought I would be. Like, I had no excitement for this. So, like, the fact that I'm even willing to watch it says a lot because I had no plans of watching this. So,
yeah, I mean, people in the chat aren't saying anything bad about it. Chris Matthews saying The Crow was my jam. Great movie, great soundtrack. Everything just worked. He also mentioned the Judgment Night soundtrack being a banger. I liked everything about it, except his Jared Leto motif there. But I could go past that. I like the violence in it. It looked very violent to me on a John Wick level, as somebody who's seen like every John Wick movie in the theaters. And B-Show, I have to. I'm interested now. I'm very interested in the film.
Very much so. I honestly thought this was going to be one of those remakes that comes out that I kind of, oh, fuck this. And then I catch it on streaming later and hate it. But honestly, I don't want to say I'm excited to see this because it's not like the most exciting. I don't know. I'm not like super, oh, let's go now.
Yeah, no,
but
me
it
neither.
looks really good. But it looks really good.
But I liked a lot of what I saw.
Yes.
Can you guys think of one thing that kind of stood out to you that was a red flag? I'm trying to think, other than Post Malone singing with Ozzy. I think that was and his look. I mean, Shah, is there anything from that trailer that makes you not want to see the movie?
No, not at all. In fact, I like the Ozzy Osbourne and the Post Malone mix up. So I really don't have any problems with it at all.
Okay. What about you, B-Show? Any red flags for you?
No, the only thing that was strange that I was trying to figure out is is like pressing on the makeup as opposed to it being scars and shit. I just don't know. We won't know until we watch the movie what's that about, but
yeah, we really won't. B-Show, would you mind terribly pulling up the cast? I just want to see this director to see if they have a history of action films. We may have done this on Patreon, but at this point, I want to see who the director is. Because the director made a comment that he's trying to make the characters reflect people that age now, which is weird when FKA Twigs is pushing 40. But let's and I don't know how old this Skarsgård is. Well, he looks like his brother there, Shah, doesn't he? He looks like the Northman there in the a little bit, I think.
How many of them are active?
Skarsgård 4, 3 brothers and a father.
Jeez.
Yeah. 3 brothers and the father. Stellan is the father. Then we got who's Stellan. Then of course there's Bill. And then there's who's the other 2 Skarsgårds? Oh, I honestly don't know. I know what they're from. I just don't know. I just want to see the director, B-Show.
I'm sorry, I thought you wanted the cast. Rupert
Sanders. I thought
the
yeah. What has this guy done? What has he done? Snow White
and the Huntsman, Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, that Ghost in the Shell movie was terrible.
These are all terrible.
These are bad movies. Oh my god. Yeah, that Snow White and the Huntsman's not bad. I mean, it's not good either. Ugh. Wait, The Things They Carried. That's a World War II movie. He did that? I've heard of that movie. It's a World War II film. He directed that? What an odd. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Skarsgård was in that one too.
Yeah. Who are the other Skarsgårds? This is going to drive me nuts. Does anybody know in the chat? Alex Skarsgård?
Here we go.
Alexander Skarsgård is the Northman Shah. And then the other brother who doesn't look like these brothers, he looks a little different. He was in the Vikings TV show. What's his name? He is Gustav? I think it's Gustav. Click on Gustav. Wait, how many Skarsgårds are? Yeah, that's him. This guy's Floki from Vikings. He was in Oppenheimer too. Yeah, this dude looks a little hard for the Skarsgård boy.
Yeah. Is that the Brian or the Stephen Baldwin of the family?
That is the Stephen Baldwin, I think, shot the Skarsgård. Right? He doesn't really look like the brothers.
No, the only one I'm really familiar with is the one from The Crow and the one from Infinity Pool, Bill.
Bill,
or,
yeah.
What was all the
Alexander. Click on Alexander's that's Bill. Bill is it.
Oh, he's Bill is okay. Never mind.
Bill is from It. He's from what the fuck? The big horror movie. Oh, great.
Pennywise.
Well, he's Pennywise, but he was in another big horror movie. Scroll down. He's in a lot, actually.
I can never think of the name of that movie. Barbarian?
Barbarian. Yeah, Shah. He was the first guy in Barbarian. He was the villain in John Wick 4. What else is he in? Maybe
he's in Boy Kills World. That's that video game style.
Yes, that's the video game movie. That looks amazing.
Was Shah on to watch that with us?
No, Shah never saw that. Shah,
you
have you
watch
seen the Boy Kills World trailer yet?
No, but he's in Nosferatu also. I forgot about that.
That's right. Yeah.
Isn't he Nosferatu?
He is Nosferatu.
That's even crazier.
So he's the Pennywise? Wow. Wait a second. He's the Crow, the Pennywise clown, and Nosferatu in like a 3-year span.
That's some like Bela Lugosi shit,
The
man.
fuck is he doing that? He's a
That's
young
pretty
guy.
crazy. Man. That's a good fucking portfolio film.
Not to mention, he's got The Boy Kills World. He was the villain in John Wick 4, which is a huge film. He was Pennywise in 2 movies, technically. Hemlock Grove, that was a pretty popular UK, I think, horror series. I didn't know he was from that. Wow. Yeah, people are mentioning that he's in there. Yeah, listen, I think we're on board with the Crow. I think maybe we'll eat some crow. Maybe we should call the episode, We Might Eat Crow. P-Show. I think that's not a bad.
Let's do
might
it.
eat crow. Let's do it. All right, listen, we have an act.
The gang eats crow, like from
The
Always
gang eats
Sunny.
crow. But make the capital Crow. Hemlock Grove. Yeah, people really like that show, Joe Punches. I know it was popular.
Bring out a new virus. The Crow virus.
Wouldn't that be the twist of all twists if he comes back to life, not because of a curse or whatever, but it's just some new avian flu?
Yeah, it's avian flu. It's bird flu.
Jesus.
Listen, we have a ton of stuff that we need to get to over at the Patreon. So if you were on the waffling, if you were like, hey, Drapes, I've got $5 in my pocket and I think I might want to spend it on your Patreon. Hell of a time to do it. You got a lot to play with there, and you can also get in on the Q&A. But we're going to give our plugs out now to Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show, Necromaniacs Podcast, the Inhuman Experience Podcast, Ringsiders Wrestling on YouTube, Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show, the Garden of Doom, and then we have the Old Guy Metalcast, and of course, funkbetty.com. Get some nice spring clothes. Go to funkbetty.com today. MJW Games and Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. Our good buddy Sam Hoyos, Red River Podcast. He's got a band called Playing Dead, always putting out the hits. The Bayou Geeks, that's Fateh 316's show. High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, the Weekly Detour with Anthony Alston and Ted Tedford, and Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, anything on the Planet Mondo happening?
Not for the foreseeable future, but go subscribe anyway, though. We have a nice decent amount of archived catalog, so go check it out.
Okay. And I want to add a shout out to my friend Rich Dow and his podcast. Rich, you got to send me the link. I'll add it to the plugs going forward. And B-Show, what do you got on the B-Show Brian channel when you're not doing this deep dive for the Patreon?
I'm tired, man. I'm going to go to bed soon because this week I was up late. Halloween, they announced that there's going to be a return already after 2 years ago, the movie franchise supposedly ending.
Yes.
But it's going to be like a TV series, and it's going to be
And
a
it's only
complete
going to count the
reboot.
first 2 movies. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's the whole point. Is okay, we're
Here
doing
we go
this
again.
So I
Here
put a
we
video
go
up about
again.
that. Here we go again on my
Oh, sorry.
So I put a video up about that this week, and then just a short reaction on TikTok to the Scream news that Nev Campbell's coming back after a big contract dispute a couple years ago.
Yeah,
They knew they were fucked as soon as
I
they
saw
lost
that
Melissa
discourse,
Barrera.
and I just think all of it is fake. So I'm just like, stop it. You were going to see the movie. Don't pretend like you weren't. You're not even going to care about the Middle East conflict when this movie comes out. You're going to forget you even cared about it. Let's be. This is all window dressing.
Yep.
But all right, B Show. So that's and of course people need to subscribe to the B Show Brian channel, and of course they need to subscribe to Planet Mondo. And if you haven't, you need to subscribe to Spitball Media Podcast. But listen, we're heading on over to Patreon. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. What a fun time we had with you talking movies and stuff. And we'll see you next week on Spitball Media.
Peace.